Okay.
Right? Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, one of the branches here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work, truth and sincerity, right? And to the speckled birds that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, we, and to the few aqua that are listening and learning. To them we say shalom. Right? Everybody got the subject matter that they want to bring up. If you don't, I run my mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start it now. This is Job chapter 12, verse 22, which I guess is because we was talking earlier, I was just talking saying that you should fear, a man that the Lord is dealing with. Much more fear that Yahweh Shai, fear God, fear his God. Because the spirit can trick on you. The Lord can endow this man with power to do things to protect himself. The point is, that's the person you should really take heed to what he's saying, man.
And that's going to happen. Because power is going to be being viewed unto the men of the Lord, man. And like a brother once said, and the men of the Lord are going to have fun with that power, man. All right? The Lord, like, and I'm quoting what the brother said, man, but the Lord's going to give us two great gifts, man. The first gift and the best gift is the fact that laws are going to be put within our inner parts. We grab that. The laws are going to be put within our inner parts. And what that literally means is that we will and cannot go off. We'll never go off again. That's how we know that we're going to be made perfect and we're going to remain in power forever. All right? And then I've been watching the show called Liberty, Justice, Liberty, or Liberty, Justice, or whatever. And it's about, a family that pretty much, a couple and all their children that pretty much got imbued with spiritual power. They're all powerful. The father is powerful, the daughter, the mother, everybody got power. And of course, they all a bunch of Edomites. There's a couple of jakes that got the power too. And Jupiter, that thing. I've been watching. I just started watching. I'm on like the fourth episode. And the sick part of it, the part that makes me angry is they gave all these women all this power. Then you got the one girl got all that power, and all she is a slut and a damn druggie. She always sniffing and putting stuff up her nose. You can ride right by, brother. You got to do all that. Go ahead. Which one? Con. That and then. Go ahead.
Okay, Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
Not all people. Right? And as a matter of fact, the more I'm thinking about it, the more Spirit is saying, go back and get that book. I bought all that bullshit. There's a book right down the street about the so-called African and Latinx experience in Chicago. And Yahweh Rakazah, I'm going to grab that book, before we leave here. All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, it says, not according to the covenant that I made with your fathers, in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, said, yeah, how right the husband we break this covenant.
Right, and we committed adultery against our power, man. Right? And once your woman or a woman that you care for transgresses against you, then you in that pain and that hurt, that's how the Lord felt when we did it to him. All right, go ahead.
Okay, it says, but this shall be a covenant that will make with the house of Israel.
Right.
All right.
Which make the people on this side.
Yep.
Make up the house of Israel and the scattered ones among the heathen. Go ahead.
Yep. It says right here, but this shall be a covenant I'll make with the house of Israel after the days, say Yahweh will put my law in their evil heart.
See, and that's that best gift that you can be given. Is have the laws of the Lord put in. There's nothing greater that can be given. Nothing.
And write it in their hearts, and will be their power. Will be their power.
Right, and in your heart, meaning your mind. Yep. So I won't be able to. I won't have to go to the scrolls to go. This book is going to be in us. We'll just be able to quote it. We'll be like Psalms 119 and 102. We'll rattle it off. Psalms 119 and 1. We're wrapping it off. You know, it's going to be in our inward parts.
And
right?
they should be my people.
Right. So that's a personal pronoun, man. Something that Christianity just doesn't seem to be able to get, man. They try to apply. You can walk. You don't have to do that. Just walk right on by. It's okay.
Well, say something.
But all right. You're famous now, right? You was
Thank
famous
you
already.
guys.
You was famous already, right?
Y'all come see me. I work in the furnace.
Okay.
Y'all might help me.
All right. Go ahead, brother. All right.
All right, but it repeats itself again in Hebrews 8 verses 8 to 10. Matter of fact, this Bible I have is the Barbour Bible. You look up the chapters. Say Hebrews. It said details written to Jewish Christians. Hence the name Hebrew. This long emphasize the superiority of Christianity to Old Testament. You know it's not. That's BS.
Right.
The point is that Hebrews is written to the Hebrews.
It's written to the Hebrews, man.
So the prophecy in Jeremiah 31 verse 31 through 34 in Hebrews 8 verse 8 through 11 is meant for the nation of Israel.
So there you go, man.
Right.
So the guy that just walked by in the mighty garment,
Right.
it really is a waste of a garment, man.
Right.
A waste of a leather belt.
Right.
All right. You know, the garment was mighty as hell.
Yeah, it was.
Right? When the whole leather set up, you know, a garment like that should have a sword sitting on the side, man. Like a true man of the Lord. Because those days are coming. Because he's reading about it.
Yeah, it says
All right? Because when those laws get put into our inward parts like that, we're also going to be made judges. All right? Okay.
and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them.
There you go. So we're not going to have to come out, you know, in the kingdom. You know, for some of you brothers who comment board prophets, you know, they're going to get to the kingdom to do the work. You know, we're not going to have to come out and teach and reprove our people, man. All right. We're not going to have Catholic priests walking by in garments, you know, that lie and play with this word, man. Go ahead, brother.
Right, it says, said Yahweh, for I will forgive their iniquity, I will remember their sin no more.
There you go, man. And so the Lord, so we're going to be forgiven for our sin, and then we're going to be changed and given those new bodies. See, these two things go hand in hand, right? Because everybody's going to have it in their inward parts, but the elect, the judges, the 144, all right, they're going to have this. Go ahead, brother.
This Isaiah chapter 60, verse 19. It says, the sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy power thy glory.
Right?
Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for Yahweh shall be thy everlasting light.
There it is.
And the days of thy mourning shall be ended.
Right. See, Amalek just walked by jealous, trying to cut his hour. Trying to peek at the sun, man. Right. Okay? He gonna bow his knee. And they know this to be true. Right. They know they're not the people, man. Right? And then he walking with his crown covered, man. With a bald face. He got a bald face and his crown covered. The opposite of what a man of Judea is supposed to do. With the hair down past the shoulder.
Nor is
Right.
it found in the scriptures.
Cons. All right. I just was sent the video about some guy prophesying falsely, talking about how he's not worried about the judgment seat because he's saved already, and how the people who are not saved are going to burn in hell and all that. Man, that's, you know. Then he even read the scripture where death and hell will be cast into the lake of fire. And he said that the people are going to be raised up out of hell, brought before the judgment seat, and then thrown back into hell. There ain't no precept to substantiate that, man. You people are out of your rabbit mind, man. I never heard that one. I was like, what?
The only closest thing to it is that the Lord, hey, he's gonna raise
Exactly.
Ain't no place
It's madness.
Because,
That's not balance. The Lord is about balance and justice, man. You know, if you 10 lifetimes, if you sin for 10 lifetimes, to burn forever still would be overkill. All right. The Lord is about balance. You get judged for those 10 lifetimes, and then it's over with. Then you got peace after that.
No, we just read it, Jeremiah 31, verse 31 on down. It says, "You remember your sin no more."
God.
Yep. He will not hold anger forever.
Right.
Right. It's like exactly. You told one lie, and a million years later, I'm still smacking you around for what you did a million years ago. All right. 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, you still in hell just burning. Because you told one lie.
Right.
Now you just burning forever and ever because you died. You didn't repent from that sin. Right. So now you just gonna burn for it. That's not balance, man. Right. Ain't no scriptures to substantiate that.
Then, if you look at it this way, you got a lot of people that say that I just went through hell and back. Well, if you went through hell, you never come back to actually tell the story.
Come, according to them. Right. When you go to hell, man, that's a done deal. Right. You know, you escaped hell. They like, damn, man, how'd you do that?
They taking a dump.
Right. You know, now you got one of them stupid movies. You got demons running around trying to take you back to hell.
Right.
Yeah. All right. You on the run from demons now. It's madness, man. All right, but could you get that in Corinthians? We shall be changed in an instant.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter
15. Come on by. That's all right.
It might be 52 or 42.
It's first.
I was gonna say start up. I was just waiting to hear you say it. Then.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50. It's 49. No, 50. It says, "Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High."
Right. So when them chariots come, all right, and they start bringing up, you know, when the Israelites start going up on the cloud like the Habashah did, all right, these fleshly bodies can't do it. Even those Esau on this media has been admitting, the military has been admitting that these what they refer to as aerial phenomenons, unidentified aerial phenomenons, or UFOs, right? You know, whichever they decide to use, what they're saying is that the maneuvers that they do, these people they would kill a man, that a person would die trying to maneuver like that. You pass out or you die. All right, so you got to think about it. They're talking. The one pilot was talking about an aircraft that was traveling around 11,000 miles per hour. That's pretty. I don't think that the Esau has anything that can go that fast, man. I mean, I know the average commercial jet can travel about 500 miles per hour. Right? Once they get going, that's how they can get across the country in 2 hours and stuff like that. You know, and you got fighter jets that can get across the country, in a very short period of time, because they move really fast, but nothing near 11,000 miles per hour. Now, and you have one guy break it down that at 11,000 miles per hour, that aircraft flying would literally to turn. It's got to bank and turn, and it would take it half the state of Ohio to make that turn. Where a chariot moving at 11,000 miles per hour can stop, go down, and just change direction, go anywhere it wants to go. And so that's why they're in their mind, they're so afraid, because they realize that this is a power that's beyond us. How are we going to fight this? But the Lord going to put it on their spirits to fight anyway. Right. Go ahead, brother.
It's a quick precept. This is Isaiah 31:3. It says, "Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit." Going back to what the elder just said, man. This man's army is carnal, and it has nothing on the ways that the angels travel, man. Esau calls them interdimensional beings, man. They're beings that can travel within dimensions. They can break dimensions when they travel, man. They can go beyond the speeds of light, man. They can turn in angles and break laws of physics, because Esau is really bound by those laws. The angels aren't bound by anything.
Exactly.
Man. How about you outside?
What's his name? The fake Jew, Einstein. He was famous for math and understanding physics and all that. Well, he couldn't do any math equation that could figure out the propulsion of these chariots, because these things travel and they travel at the faster than the speed of sound, but they don't make a sound. The chariots they'll move along, or break the sound going faster than the sound barrier, but not make a sound at all. Go ahead, brother.
This is Ezekiel chapter 1,
Somebody
starting with verse 13. It says, as for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire. You know what I'm saying? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Stars don't twinkle. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's an asteroid field in front of it and stuff, it might give the appearance of a twinkle, but the actual star by itself, if it twinkles, it's not a star. It says, and like the appearance of lamps, it went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. It says, meaning they super fast. Verse 15, it says, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. It says, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of bird, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as if it were a wheel in the middle of the wheel.
Right. So you ever seen a wheel with spokes inside of it spinning? They spin it, nigga. They spin it. Right. That's what it looks like. A wheel within a wheel, man. That's what they would call them, flying saucers, man. But real quick, what you got, brother?
I got Revelation 15. I'll start at 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had got the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, and standing on the sea of glass, having a sharp of God.
Peeking through down from that chariot, man. Seeing that river of fire, the lake of fire.
It's like looking out of a glass plate window, watching what's going on. Right?
It's kind of like when Frieza, when he destroyed the Earth, when he saw the explosion and stuff like that, it seemed to the fire, the thing with glass, when planet Vegeta was getting destroyed. Yeah, off the chariot and stuff like that.
But Frieza was actually in a real chariot.
Yeah, right.
Go to Michael. Falk the Esau in Revelation. But it says approximately, except for the sound barrier, it says approximately 770 miles per hour. So that's fast down here on Earth. All right, some going 770 miles per hour is pretty fast, man. But the chariots go way faster than that. Matter of fact, it's almost like a damn snail. You ever seen how fast a cockroach run? You ever seen one of them big ants, the carpenter ant, when they take off running, how fast they are? A centipede. It's gonna be like a snail in a race against a centipede. Man. Who's gonna win? Or the classic turtle versus the hare. So only in the cartoon does a turtle win, man. All right, a turtle ain't beating no hare in no race, man. All right, you ever seen a rabbit run? Go ahead, brother.
It's Ezekiel 1 and 17. It says, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. So when it comes down to the plains that the brother is talking about, they got to do this. Right. When they come down to the chariots and stuff, they can just they go up, down,
right.
And then they also showed how there was a fighter jet that was actually flying and chasing at the chariot and stuff, and it just dipped into the water in midair.
Yeah, you're right. And then there was even another one where you saw the chariot. I mean, the fighter jet, not a fighter jet, but a missile going along at 5,000 miles per hour, however fast it was going, and the chariot was flying around it zapping the head of it until
Yeah, I seen
until the
that
missile, the head fell off, and the missile just went crashing into the ground, man. They got footage of it. All right, so this thing can just disarm you. You know,
Unfriendly skies.
Right.
The DOD was the Department of Defense is also declaring them an enemy.
that's right. So we got no fear, man, because guess what? That's our help. That's we got no fear, you man, because that is our help, man,
You know,
not yours.
you know, mainstream Hollywood, they know about it. You know, they had a movie in this Disney Channel called The Navigator about a boy that flies
Flight of the
around,
Navigator.
Like that, called The Navigator.
Matter of fact, they picked him up. He was like 12, and he came back. His little brother's like grown and shit.
Con, I remember that movie.
Yeah, shit was in the 80s. Yep, to show you that tablet says one day in the Lord like 1,000 years like one day in your house.
Oh, they did that same thing on the 44th verse. That ain't even real. That's spiritual.
I'd still yet to watch that show. It was like they went away and came back.
Yeah, it is basically
When they all were older or something.
Yep. And that 4400 is not that. You know that the Esau
Right.
flip 144.
Right, they just took a number off.
And then what about the time when I think it was either Iran or Iraq and stuff, they were shooting at the chariot and stuff, and they were just missing all of it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was close encounter. The angel dealt the people like 1950. They still do the same.
There you go, man. There you go.
All right. Oh, I got that scripture about Michael. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
And that's talking about NATO, the beast system. All right, that's not talking about the whole Christianism madness about that the devil's his bad angels will fight against God and his good angels. And no, man, that's not what that's talking about at all. That's the day of the Lord, man. That's in the height of World War III when that happens. Okay, you can walk past. It's okay.
that dragon represent that whole circle. The garden. Metaphor.
Right. It says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
And that place was found anymore in heaven. That's the understanding and the breakdown on that. The church has got that all wrong. Like damn near everything else. All right, that's not what it's talking about. Read it again, brother Bumpershot.
Verse 8, Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
And that's basically when them chariots, because they've already been declared an enemy, and that's when America and its allies, all right, and its enemies all decide to join together and fight against the common enemy, just like they did in the Independence Day. All right, that speech that both Kennedy and Ronald Reagan gave. Was it Kennedy and it was Ronald Reagan and Clinton. Clinton gave pretty much the same speech. All right, that Reagan gave about some outward enemy from out places where unknown, right, and come to earth, and how all our differences will be forgotten, and we'll all have to fight together against it. No, and that's Esau. He's all about trying to stay in power. Right. Esau does not want. I just did a video called Accountability. Esau does not want to be made accountable for the things that they've done. They always say, "Oh, we're gonna move on and forgive." No, you're not. No, you haven't forgotten that the action that laid up to you 1948.
Right.
You're not gonna forget. You're not gonna forget all your false flag events that you celebrate still. Right. And you wait till the truth about that is learned, because many people around the world know. But you wait until the mass media is forced to admit who's really responsible for 9/11, man. You fool, man.
And the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Right. So what that in heaven right there is talking about rulership. So what that's telling you is that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is no longer going to be in rulership. Their authority is being destroyed right now, literally before your face, man. That's what all this man stuff is about. All right, to bring in that MOB, because the one way that they're going to try to control who's taking the waters and who hasn't, all right, is through the implant. buy or sell with, man. Point blank, period.
And they give them now Tesla cars and stuff like that, cheesecake, all types of nonsense.
Hey, with all these fat ass Americans, man, hey, you're gonna get a lot of people gonna say, yeah, they're gonna be like fighting it. You can go by, it's okay.
Right.
It's quite all right. They're gonna be total denial of it, man. Like what was that line in 50 Cent song? I love you like a fat kid love cake.
Oh yeah.
Right. They gonna be like, no, there's no way I'm gonna do that. That's some cheesecake.
You know, oh, they were getting off the waters. They were getting off the waters at some baseball games last week. Some dumb fans at the baseball game just lined up to just be in the baseball stadium.
There you go, just to be there.
Just to be there.
Because that was the enticement. Yeah, what is Biden saying? You want to get back to your family. You want to do these things, right?
Oh,
Just take it.
Chicago and their baseball, man. Especially these bugged out ass Cub fans. Because, you know, the Cubs did pretty good these last couple of years. But then for a whole century, they sucked. They sucked. They were like literally one of the worst teams in baseball. But yet, it's like, why are they so popular, man? They the most losingest team. Really?
And I hate to say it, Ephraim was a good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hey, Northern Kingdom be right up there with them.
It says,
What you got, brother?
Go ahead. It's
Go ahead.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 1. It says, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. It says, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be bastards, and he shall go out by himself. So what are those benefits, right? It says, verse 5, it says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges, and he shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through within all, and he shall serve him forever. So when it comes down to these benefits, when it comes down to America, and guess what? You all want to delightfully take the mark of the beast, and it won't be, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to sit up there and continue this lifestyle, this death style that you love. You see?
Oh, it's a dead end. It's a car crash.
Right. Yeah. Right. That scene in the movie when they make the wrong turn, it's a dead end. Right. That's pretty much what it is, man. Or the end of the road, man.
driving all of a sudden a deer came across. Oh shit! Oh,
you did all this great maneuvering. You had, hey, look, E, you had a great ride, man. You had a good run, man. You know, you was a Dukes of Hazzard, jumping bridges, avoiding traps, right? Outrunning the troopers, right? But now all of a sudden, you know, there's a road and the gap, the bridge is too big for you to jump, right? So it's gonna be your last into destruction because you ain't gonna make it to the other side.
Essentially, that's what the New World Order is about. The NWO is about that. The reason why and the Lord has put a dissension into them so that it doesn't really work out.
Oh, and they're fighting against each other so hard, man. Right. You talked about a house divided, man. Somebody grabbed that Mark 3:25 because now what they're trying to do is make incentives. They're trying to the shaming is coming now. The shaming about the people not taking the vaccination in their homes. Damn, I said the word. Right. But people who not, but they're literally putting the people who take it versus the people who don't. And what they're going to do now is what the government is doing to clear their own name, they're putting it on the corporations, which are all in line with the government, man.
Right.
All right? And the corporations are going to make the standard where you can't enter the premises. Now, I forget that you're wearing a mask. Did you take the waters? Right. So if you ain't taking those waters, man, all right? If you ain't taking those waters, you can't do anything. But now you got all these. But look, you've had over 8 million Americans leave their blue states and going to red states, empowering the red states. All right. So what that's going to do is just further the division, because a lot of the red states that were weak, or areas where the reds were weak, are making them strong, man. So that division is strong because now you got different, a couple of different places in Miami, places of hire, that are, what they're doing is they're going to fire anyone who takes it. The reverse. So they're saying, because what they're saying is that there's evidence that the people who have it are hazardous to impregnated women. So I'm like, what? I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard about it. What they're saying is that people who have the waters are when they're around in the presence of pregnant women, that it endangers the pregnant women's health. And they're saying that there's health studies to prove and back that up. Of course, they're never going to talk about that on the MSM. MSM is not going to bring that out. You know, mainstream media, for anybody who may not know, they're not going to bring that out. But I hope that it's true, right? And that it comes out. And that and what you begin to see is you're starting to see the people fight against the system, all right? The Egyptians, somebody can grab that too. Because down in Colombia, they've already killed over 30 protesters, man. So they literally, the police down there killing, they offing people down there, man. They ain't playing, man. You know, so, but guess what? It's gonna come here. It's gonna come here, especially once they send, with all this defunding of the police. All right, what all that's gonna do is invite all these trained mercs and trained militias that they're gonna use to police your neighborhoods now. And all these and all the foreign troops is gonna come in here and already hate you, spoiled Americans. You gonna go right by it's okay, bro.
It's gonna the good old boys versus those mercs.
Yeah, and then they're gonna clash too. So it's just gonna be a free for all. See, why? And that's the funny thing, because a lot Esau, look, Jacob gonna get annihilated and destroyed, man. A lot of them. All right, and I'm talking about the 2/3. But the flip side of it is that the Lord is also gonna use a lot of the 2/3 to be spirits of vengeance against Esau Edom, and Esau Edom is gonna be too busy fighting among themselves to do. They're preparing for all the hordes of niggas and spiggers that are gonna go to the suburbs. And the truth of the matter is, it's their own neighbors that they're gonna be in battle with over resources. So by the time them hordes of niggas and spiggers gonna get out there, you ain't gonna have no bullets left because you done battled it out with Jimbo in there.
And what's proof of that? You ever been around Edomites where it's just them and they get drunk? They niggas.
Yeah,
They fight each other.
oh yeah.
He's all the original.
Yeah, they do, man. Especially the fake Irish.
What's that movie? The Battle's about. They was in that the
Con.
warheads went off and they was in the ground. They had fools about everything.
They had no order, no discipline.
Yeah.
And all they did, they just rape, robbed, and killed, and splurged and used it. Right? Okay? You would think that if you were in a situation where there was only a few women left, you would take care of them so that you would have some women and not abuse them till ain't no damn women now. Now you got a whole bunch of angry ass men. Okay? Stupid.
That also shows that when it comes down to Jacob's trouble, you Edomites and you heathen and stuff, you're not getting out that jam. You're gonna be in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm. So all these things that they plan, sometimes I'm like, wow, man, they really gonna jam us up. But I'm looking forward to these things because we already know the Lord is already gonna make a way for those who believe and those who he's with, man.
Well, it says the Lord is gonna make abundant the ways for us. That's in the book of Hebrews. You know, if we just continue in the Spirit.
And just like we might be walking somewhere, he might break the third house out, cap the crib, go down. The crib got nice little steak dinner and shit.
Oh yeah.
We come up in there, be calling the steak.
Exactly. Right. The wine racks.
What
You best believe, man. Them gated communities all up and down Kinsey
Zeus.
and that whole area over there, Fulton Market, all them little gated communities over there with all them JOOWSs. All right.
They got these pepper people. They be peppering the whole line where they house is. Everything was in there.
Right.
That's their pride. That's their pride because they don't think that they're gonna be able to be overrun Iran. They got enough manpower. They have enough guns.
They don't think Diego coming with that bunker buster. All right? We all remember that bunker buster that Diego had because he came up in them two bras house. Right? And you remember what he told the mother? She was like, "You can do anything to me, just don't harm my daughter." He's like, "Well, I'm gonna do what I want." To both of you. He said, right. He was like, y'all got to do is decide who's gonna go first. All right. So, hey, Diego, hey, he had the keys to their house, their bunker buster, and there was a video that came out maybe about 5-6 years back of an Edomite. You know, it was a short video of him cracking his bunker buster, and as it panned out, you saw his whole arsenal on the wall behind him. And he sent out a personal thank you to all you preppers out there. He said, "I want to thank y'all for gathering up all this stuff for me, because I got the keys to your house." And he cocked that thing, and then when the camera came out, it showed all the stuff that he had behind him, man. And he was a menacing looking, crazy ass Edomite. Right?
They show that in the road and whatnot. You know, doomsday preppers and stuff. You're gonna be walking somewhere and stuff, trying to make a move. And then next you know, you stuck out there and stuff because you can't. What the scripture says, it says that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then, looking at moving the road, they stumbled across the cellar and it was filled up with food. So really, you just setting that stuff up for the elect.
For somebody else. Because you're right, brother, because they're going to go to work that day and they ain't going to be able to get back to their house. Or they're not going to be able to get to their country house. You know?
Well, the Lord said we was going to eat and drink and be merry in that day. So somebody's going to have all the supplies for us, man.
Yep, and I'm going to tell you where they are. They're on the North Shore and up there near Kenosha and going into Wisconsin, man. There's a lot of bunkers, a lot of homes, and a lot of stuff up there. And if you think niggas and spigots and Edomites ain't going to be making their way that way to those places,
Man,
right? Because those people got the money and the resources, man. They got cellars, hidden rooms. They got them guest houses on their property, and the guest houses filled with stuff. They don't even go out to the guest house. The guest house sitting on their property, they not even using it. They use it as a stockpile for all their stuff.
Hey, especially those people who take the mason jars and sell them.
Oh yeah.
They sit there for years and things like that.
Oh yeah. They got the rice and the beans and the canned goods and they got all that stuff, man. They're ready, man. So because the Lord said that the men of the Lord are gonna eat abundantly, right?
You know what else? That proves that these people know what the Bible says is true. They know it's going to be a period of trouble and a period of all types of anarchy out here.
Yeah.
Because it says even devils believe in trouble.
That's right.
So what the hell you think they're getting prepared for in America?
Yeah, what's up, brother? Well, you can just get it free off the internet if you want to.
No, I want to put it on the internet.
Okay.
My other, Muslim brothers, understand.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, the Muslim brothers need to hear this.
Okay.
Well, if it wasn't true, they wouldn't get kicked out the internet. Then.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So they wouldn't always be. If it wasn't true, they wouldn't always be deleting our videos.
Like
and we were just a bunch of clowns that didn't know what we was talking about.
Right.
They wouldn't be deleting all our videos. Man. Because why? Because a lot of the things that we're talking about, well, everything that we're talking about is true.
Right.
When it comes down to our nationality, who we really are, everything about it, everything that we're telling you is 100% true, man. 144%, to be exact, man. All right? Point blank, period.
Right, that's our whole job, like Isaiah 58:1 says. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. To tell my people of the house of Jacob their sins and their transgressions, roughly paraphrasing. So that's why the Lord got the signs set up. He got his men set up in different cities across the world.
Across the world, man.
Across the world.
And so it takes some movement. The Lord did this, man. You know, set it up. You know, as soon as the elders went live on the YouTube 13 years ago, man, everybody followed suit. But, you know, there's only one truth out there. And brother, Islam ain't it. We the Israelites, brother. All right? There's only one truth. You got guys got a little bit of truth and a little bit of knowledge. And I'm going to tell you right now, most of those guys are ear hustling, listening to us. And then they go back and talk to their congregations like they stealing it from us. But it's okay because they need to hear it anyway, man. Right? Because the truth, it's just like this whole thing with the mask and all. Look, man, something that's real doesn't need to be advertised and promoted daily, 24/7, 365. Right? The truth is the truth, and it stands on its own, man. If I hold out this phone and let it go, it's gonna fall to the ground and possibly crack. Right? Because gravity works. Why? Because that's the truth. All right? Not some false pseudoscience and lot. 2 Timothy, 1 Timothy 6 and 20. All right? Because we were warned by the prophets, man, that the day would come that they would actually use fabricated truths, meaning science, to control the people, man. We were warned of it, right? Because science means to know. That's all it really means. When you break the word down, it means to know, right? Pseudoscience means false science. And so they just push stuff, and there's no proof behind it, no evidence, and it's just like how they get on TV and they just toss out numbers. It's just statistics and numbers. And then like a lot of these business owners were asking, well, we want to see the stats and the numbers, and they never produce it.
They don't have it.
You know, it's just like they'll say, oh, there was a security threat, you know, it was blah 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 blah, there was this, and it was a cyber attack. Oh, but that's that is the perfect scenario to get. He can walk by. It's okay.
It's all good.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Yeah, we let the people walk by. It's all right. Okay. Yeah, it's all good, brother. It's okay. Yeah, because this is a public walkway.
Right.
But what was that I called?
I got it for you.
Go ahead, brother.
1 Timothy 6 and 20. Oh, Timothy, keep that which is committed unto thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
Right. So the Lord warned you that they would use oppositions of science, false science, to try to get around the word of God, man. To try to get around the power of the Lord, man, the creator of all things.
Right.
All right. We tell you that all the time, man. Like, okay, today is not really windy. Okay, when I'm looking to the left, I can see the leaves moving a little bit.
Right.
You can't see the wind, but you're gonna say it's not there.
Right.
And did the wind did it create itself? You know? Okay, I can see the trees, the water. See, the Lord, man, it's funny how when we talk about things, how the Lord make an example. We'll talk about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, not being white, but he's red, and we'll send a red one by, red as hell. But yet, walk right by. right as we saying it. It happens all the time, man. But you know, that false concept of black and white, man. When you looking at, we just watched a whole bunch of East Indians walk by, all right? Darker than your average Negroes, but yet they not called black.
Right.
Oh, you see a very light brown, so-called black person, all right? That's much lighter complected. I'm a lighter complexion. All them Indians that walk by, they always darker than me. But yet they don't call them black.
Right.
So you gotta understand, man. You know, they even showed you that in the Malcolm X movie, man. When the Muslim brother broke it down to Malcolm, when he showed him the definition of black in the dictionary. Right. So that's and let me share this with the Muslim audience who's gonna be listening, man. Black and white are social constructs created by Esau, Edom. All right? Created by them. As a matter of fact, I give you the year. In 1681, because now somebody gonna use it like they came up with it, that's okay. But in 1681, I'm not saying you, but somebody gonna watch it and hear it and repeat it.
Right.
But in 1681 in Virginia was the first time, you can go research this, was the first time ever in law that there was any documentation written where there was a class of people referred to as white. They labeled themselves white. Prior to that, you will find no legal documentation anywhere where there was a class of people referred to as white people. They became white people because they tried to match themselves up with white people that are written in the Bible. When the Bible is talking about being made white, it's talking about being made pure. Spiritually, it's not physical. And there's nothing pure about those people.
Right.
Nothing. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And lay open the book of the law,
Right?
Therein.
No, go up a little bit. That's
All right.
Yeah, go up about 3 verses. 46, brother. 46.
Okay. This is verse 46. Therefore, the Israelite assembly themselves together and came to Massacre over against Jerusalem, for in Massacre was the place where they prayed a time.
So let's give you a picture. Let me give you a picture of what's going on. As a matter of fact, now that you brought that up, somebody getting the 400 years before Yahweh shot.
Second Esdras?
Yeah, second Esdras. Get that. You got to understand. And this is this. And now you about to learn something about the fault. You got it. You got it already. Go ahead, brother. Right to the point. Where 400 years. Yeah, right there.
This is Second Esdras chapter 13.
Is it 13? No, it's not 13.
No, it's like
No.
like chapter
It's,
2.
it's like
Okay. I got it. Yeah,
Second Esdras 7:28.
Exactly where is that?
For my son Yahweh Shai shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
all right, so there you go, man. Right? Man, Jake a trip, man. But you know what though? Jake, no, we ain't on that.
Right.
We understand we the men of the Lord. We ain't gonna do that with nobody else. That's like $1,000 camera, man. The lens itself is about $500-$600, man. All right? But go ahead, brother. I'm so Salaki. Read it again. That just kind of took me.
Second Esdras. This is Second Esdras 7:28.
Right?
It says, for my son Yahweh Shai shall be revealed with those that be with them, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
Right. So that's the 400-year period of the Hellenization of the so-called Jews, of Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. 400 years of being under that Greek rule, all right, where they got Hellenized, where they were getting the tattoos, where they were wearing the mohawks, right, and they got into that Greek culture, the same thing they do today, with all the stepping and the get right, all that's right, all that, that's that Greek lifestyle, man. They became Greeks. So when you fast forward to the New Testament, when it's talking about there's no difference between the Greek and the Jew, that was talking about that, right, our people that were not living according to this, because these are the names that they put on us today, but these are biblical nationalities over here. They took this away from us, all right? But now through the power of the Lord, we got it back. So that was that 400 years period of Greek Hellenization.
I wanted to get a
All right.
number or something to get in contact with.
Okay, now what was your question, brother? I'm just trying to
I
finish
just
that
want to
statement.
be in contact with you. You know, to show, my brothers,
Just have them come out, brother.
where? That's what I'm
Right here.
Okay. That's it.
Right here. Brothers will be right here, brother. Every day about 4:30, every 4:30, 5 o'clock every Saturday. Brothers gonna be right here. All right.
Hey,
Okay, brother.
That's the whole reason. Because my wife,
Yeah, we already know, brother. You already know. You need some.
I gotta pay the
So
toll.
go ahead, brother.
I gotta pay the.
All right, brother.
What you gotta do? You gotta come?
Yeah, you know that mask, it don't even work. They got a
That's a
girl that
woman.
was running a track and stuff like that.
That's a
She
whole
passed
woman.
out.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
Oh, it worked. It
Yeah,
all
it
out.
worked. No, it did work. It took a strong athlete made a weak.
Right.
All right. That's what it showed you. It worked, man.
Going with the wave.
Right. Because you're like a car, man. It's like I always tell you. You come up the exhaust pipe with the car's gonna stall out, man. The same thing with a human being. You're meant to breathe freely. Dr. Sebi, I already told you, man, that the way to get sick is the way for sickness is mucus. To get rid of sickness is to get rid of mucus out of the body and and have a strong respiratory system. If your respiratory system is weak and your body's filled with mucus, that's when disease sets in, all types, from cancer to all the other shit. Right?
Just to point it out, when it comes down to peppermint oil, it takes that out, and cayenne pepper, it takes mucus out of your body.
There you go, man. There's a lot of and a lot of this information and it's no accident that Dr. Sebi strangely died just a short period before this whole thing happened.
Yep.
It's funny. The one man who had healed, and it's funny because I hear the commercials on the radio always talk about, well, there's no cure for AIDS, but blah 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 bullshit. Dr. Sebi healed AIDS and proved it in the court of law, in the federal court, and he won, right? And he also healed herpes too, things that was not true. He healed things that were supposedly incurable. All right, and then all of a sudden he ends up dead. And look, he should have been one of the most popular and well-known men in this century, man.
Right, he's supposed to be a Time magazine.
All right, everybody. He should be on the front. Should have been on the front of Time. There should be books and movies about him and everything else, man. Right?
Instead of that, they got gang leaders like OG Bobby Johnson and DC Fights and stuff like that. They're gang leaders.
Everybody American should be their baby sandwich.
No kidding, man.
I'll tell you.
They got criminal history.
It should be a whole bunch of kids whose middle name is Sebi, man.
Right.
Quick.
All right.
It says, Job chapter 13, verse 4. But you are forgers of lies, you are physicians of no value.
Right.
All right.
Physicians of no value, man. Forces of lies. They lie about everything. It's okay. Walk right on by. It's all right. All right. If they're forces of lies, they lie about everything. You lied about history.
Yep.
You teach false history. You teach false science. You lie about every goddamn thing, man. All right? And then you get mad, you get angry when people point it out.
And the moon landing, too.
Yeah, get mad because it's not working anymore, man.
Yeah, it's not working anymore, man. Because only in your movies are you the great Jupiter's landing and all this other crap, man. Are you the heroes? All right? Because guess what? You're not the Scots. You're not the Irish. You're not the Brits. You're not the Vikings. You're not even the real Greeks, man.
Not even
You're the Edomites.
Yep.
You are the biblical Edomites. And look, and he sent out a bright red Edomite as soon as I said it, man. Walked right out of the damn store as soon as I said it.
Not even Pharaoh. You look on the hieroglyphics on the wall, not even him.
Right.
Right.
They showed you that in the movie, man.
Right.
In the Ten Commandments, you saw all these Edomites coming out of Egypt,
Right.
and all you saw was so-called black people on the walls behind them that they were coming out of.
He so want to be everybody except for him.
He want to be everybody except Esau, Edom, man.
I got a quick precept.
Right? And he's just angry because all those lies he's taught in his American food system, in his westernized food system, is all being debunked and brought to light, man. They don't want. Go ahead, bring your scripture out, bro.
This is Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value.
It had to come out again, man. You know, the Most High speaketh not once but twice, yet man perceiveth not. Because the Lord is getting ready to seal up this word, man. You know, we're telling you people, and you're still not getting it, still not getting through. You still can't see who your enemy is. You still can't see that this man is not a healer, but a killer.
Yes.
Right. Better yet, a murderer, man.
Con.
As a matter of fact, what did he say that the evil shall give his children unto the murderer, man?
Yeah.
You know?
They got that saying in Spanish, which I can't recall it right now, but they got a saying in Spanish that says, better the race, marry white.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is that they're not good enough. In order for us to be good, we got to mix ourselves with them.
Matter of fact, it's an old, if you look up the Travis Ash Brazil, it's an old picture of as simple as Jake on Brazil. She happy that her daughter married Edomite and got a baby. She's praising the Lord and shit.
There you go, man. Then you got a damn terror. Your daughter just gave birth to a damn devil.
Right.
All right? How you gonna be excited? She should have been mourning,
right?
renting her garment and casting dust on herself, man. And excommunicating her daughter, telling her she not my daughter no more. Get that you and that devil, get out of here.
Just the same they did in Judah and Gad down there in Louisiana, man. I forgot they called it where Esau be courting their daughters. Then they had a mulatto, then so-called Quantum bullshit they came up with.
That blood quantum bullshit?
Yeah, well, basically just fucking eating like tears and shit.
Yeah.
But the mother's happy that their daughter got fucked right.
Hey, well, you know what? The tears are going to get gathered up
Right.
and destroyed, man. Go to Matthew. Matthew 13. I think we start around verse 31. Yeah, you can get that. Well, no, that kind of pass. That thing.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 31. And it says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. That's pretty much going into the fact that somebody with a little faith and whatnot and stuff, they're gonna get greater faith and stuff in the end. And like it says in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, it says that you should increase and not last again. So it says, verse 33, it says, another parable spake he unto them, the kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal till the whole was leavened.
Brother, read that again. He was reading the tears.
Go ahead.
All right, verse 37. It says, and he answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the son of man. It says, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom.
The good seed are the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, but the tares are the children of the wicked one.
The tares are the offspring of the Esau, the Edomite so-called white man.
Bill Clinton's son.
Yeah, Bill Clinton's son.
Con.
Yep.
Con, because he almost the color of my coat. You know?
It says,
and someone would look at him and be like, well, he's a Negro.
Oh, Diana Ross.
Yeah, Tracy Ross.
What's her name from
Tia and Tamara.
Oh,
Hillary, what was her name? I can't think of her name. Yeah.
Tia and Tamara. Yeah.
Well, but her father's Edomite.
Yep.
So
Esau.
So she's right.
This is Matthew 13 and 39. It says the enemy that sold them is the devil.
Yep.
It says the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels.
That's
right.
Angels, man. They're gonna you know, Edomites are judging, man. Maybe judging that most of that. They're gonna be wiped out, man.
This is why we're not worried about your future oppression.
Yep.
And we look forward to it. We wanted to hurry up and come, man.
Yep.
You know, do that shit. What are you waiting for?
Go ahead and press that Maxine Water. You get angry.
Right, so right. Because I'm telling you, man, all this opening up, you know, and like you said, these is people with masks and people without them, man. Yep. All right? These people with masks and people without them. These people are going to go whoa.
Y'all shit, he got called at the baseball game, not with how he wear the mask.
So
Oh, drinking water.
Oh, Thanksgiving. This past Thanksgiving, a couple of politicians got caught. Even they family members in crowded restaurants. All right. So you see politicians Thanksgiving 2020. All right, they say they in the restaurants crowded crowd members and shit. They're hypocrites.
It's all a bunch of hypocrites, man. Look, because I tell them, look, whatever that invisible barrier that's around your table when you're in a restaurant, just put that shit everywhere. Right. All right? Because there's something, because I wear my mask and walk into the restaurant.
Right.
Then I sit down and I take it off.
Yeah.
And I'm in the same room as the people walking in. Everybody standing in line to walk in. Sitting there in the same, it's like, this shit is retarded, man.
They say that you gotta they say you got to keep 6 feet. If you got to keep 6 feet, then that means that where you can't catch it, that means that it gets destroyed by air. You see? It gets destroyed by air.
Oh, they got that pro shit. Man, your favorite spot, Harbor Street.
Right, right.
Shit, you eat outside, got to go plastic and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they got the streets all blocked up and shit, man.
Oh yeah, they giving Esau the right. They giving them the right to block off streets so they can put they tables and chairs out in the little physical streets.
Right.
You know?
Ain't the street unsanitary?
That's some bullshit, man. Right, you got rats running up and down the streets, man.
Right.
Right? Yo, you got that restaurant, the Goddess, right there on Goddess in the grocery. On Damon, the one right off North Avenue. It's about a block off North Avenue. Right. And the alley next to them, they got the alley blocked off and they see some chairs in the alley. Yeah. So the people can't even use the alley. They didn't put up a fake partition. Yeah. It's not even a wall. And I be praying that somebody come down that alley flying and drunk and come through that partition and kill all them damn heathens that be sitting there, man.
Walk down Harbor Street past.
I pray it happens.
They've almost done. I've seen somebody just flying down the corner. They had to turn real quick and bust that right.
And yesterday, I was walking down the street, past Rick Blaze restaurant, the restaurant on the street. We called the guy came out the restaurant doing this, the wind blowing, everything.
Yeah.
It was a real virus. They don't get out of food.
It's exactly.
They said it right there to check the streets and shit. The dirty ass street with rats and shit.
Exactly, man.
It's all BS, man.
But it's okay.
Right.
Just do what you gotta do.
Right.
Because we all know the lockdowns are coming again. And America won't survive it. These small businesses are all gonna right. It's gonna be a right. And you're gonna have and these people will come out here and act an ass, man. And finally, and you're gonna have that madness like you got going on in Colombia and down in Colombia, over Europe. Yeah, like I said, they killed almost 30-something protesters down there. They down there just straight killing. The police down there just murdering people.
Hey, that's that judgment coming upon Jacob. Hey, each day is a closer day to Jacob's trouble. It's already started. You know, another big thing that's going on that a lot of people are not talking about. Four companies basically shut down right now because there's certain microchips they ain't got. Then that's why
the price of used cars is going up like new cars, man.
Yep.
All right.
That's why people can't find the new game systems. They all
This
chip,
chip, yeah.
which is really Esau's getting all these chips. That's why they ain't selling them like that. They're getting ready for that mass push for the market of beast, man. All the MOB, yeah. So like the mob.
Mob on you with the mob.
Right. That's what's going on, and a lot of people's not talking about it. A lady came and had bought some merchandise the other day. She said, yeah, we've been shut down since April 1st. The 2 plants out here in Chicago because they don't got those chips. So what is Esau hoarding up all these MOBs for? Hey, the hour of temptation is coming, man. We got all these riots going on, all this social unrest, all right? Let alone this business, all this is just collapse on top of each other. This is the perfect stage for all types of chaos, all right? Like that second Ezra 15 speaks about. Nobody, hey, we still, last week, it was a certain shortages on certain meats, chicken, hot dogs, certain beef products, things of that nature, all right? But what they're not telling you in totality is there's a major food crisis going on that nobody is actually talking about, which goes back to the scriptures. There's going to be a famine here, man, all right? And when people can't get the shit they want to eat, they're going to go nuts, man.
Because you know what? It's much money going out. Everybody, hope people finally have money. But guess what? It's not enough merchandise anymore. Right. So guess what? That hyperinflation is about to kick in hard as hell.
Yes, and it's gonna happen this summer. That's why I'm so excited right now, man. I'm still mad behind these court systems, but it's like fuck it. Ain't nothing gonna matter in the matter, right? Right? Yeah. Right. Because everybody gonna be driving legally. Because they gonna put it to law that can't nobody drive and move around. But you think people gonna not drive and move around? They gonna drive and move around anyway, man.
It says in
Go ahead.
Second Corinthians to disregard a
They're gonna disregard it, right? And you know, and then the people gonna start, and then you're gonna realize you're gonna see the problem with the shortness of the police force, right? And the police ain't trying to get involved in shit like that.
They don't take it nice right now.
Right?
They don't very thin nice. They already done took certain money from the police. So
Yeah,
they
all the major cities are short on police officers. Right? So you can, yeah. And the glory from that job is gone, man, especially for the Edomites. And look, if you think that racist white people don't purposely go try to become police officers, you a stupid ass motherfucker. Excuse my French, but it's because it was brutally true. All right? That is one of the number one jobs that your racists run for. All right? They join the force because, exactly. Because I'm going to get to go to an inner city and keep my foot on the necks of damn niggas and spitters. Oh, I thought it was a taser. And I get paid for it. And I get paid for it. I get a pension. I get a pension for making their lives miserable, beating their ass, and sending them to jail to plant evidence. And then I got a crooked ass court system and justice system that backs me up.
Loophole where you officers sit up here and do whatever you want to and stuff, and knowing your fellow officers ain't gonna sit up here.
Yeah, the officers ain't gonna say nothing because, right? Yeah, and a lot of them, they don't like what they see, but they ain't gonna say nothing though.
Because they know they're gonna die. It's many movies out there and stuff where you had that real officer who really trying to be about his job, but he see the falseness of the department.
They already show you, and then the other one's like, "What's wrong with you?" Right. Look the other way.
That was on Tales from the Hood. His ass just followed you.
They chased that nigga and tried to kill him. They kill him and stuff. He was able to
All this thing.
That's the spirit right there. These people can't drive. One dude right here.
I mean, she literally just took off the parking space. And she back because she heard. She literally took off the parking space with a little ass car, man. Because this car ain't gonna be able to, because she pulled back so far from that car. Well, his car's small enough, he might get in there. But that
It's still a pain in the ass.
it's a pain in the ass.
That's the big one.
In consideration, that self-entitlement, really it's just that mindset that these people exist in the bubble.
Yeah, and she probably collected child support for 2 or 3 different dudes too. You saw the attitude she had. Yeah, right. Well, hey, somehow he had to go. Like you want to say, how the Russians gonna be up here? Being all my comrades. Right. We all want to take turns with this. Right. And that's exactly what they're gonna do, man. See, you women who just enjoy being on the CC, right? You right. You can go right ahead. It's okay. But you're just enjoying yourself riding the CC. The CC about to ride your ass. We told you. We've been telling you. And it's about to happen, man. And it's gonna be, they ain't gonna be nice about it either. They'll be smacking you around, beating you, and everything else, man. It's going to happen. This society is collapsing. It's collapsing fast.
You got
right?
You got a lot of sick
All
out there.
people, sick people, and all this that you see, it's all gonna change, man.
Right.
All right.
Be a new normal.
You're not gonna have the freedom. You're not gonna have the freedom to do any damn thing soon enough, man. All right. This society is going to collapse very, very soon. All right. And then we're gonna find out about all this independent. I don't need no man and all that stuff in that day. And that day is close to hand. You can walk right by.
No,
Yeah,
not physically, no.
Real lewd is
Not read the Bible.
because all their
That's right.
imaginations is about
Who was from
city.
Israel? Huh? Who from Israel originally? What part of Israel you from?
They occupied
Israel
certain
is a
towns.
country.
But he
But I
basically
mean, what part?
grabbed
Tell me. You from
No, that
Pullman?
was
You from Tel Aviv?
That was Fury.
Fury.
The
Yeah, he
whole
went in
thing.
there.
They went
But
into that
the
building.
names were
All the
different back
soldiers.
then. Those
They,
were new
as soon
names.
as the American soldiers, they were taking the German women
So
in
they
the
ain't never
tanks.
been there.
They were taking turns.
Made
with
them
them.
cook dinner.
Yeah.
Not in this lifetime, no.
And you remember the scene in the building? He said, look, man, listen, you know, right? And he said, if you don't so he sat there, he thought about it, he got up and put his ass down. Because the girl actually was kind of digging.
Do you know about
Right?
that?
He
Yeah.
was like, that's
That's
and,
what he's
and they connected.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, then I
Simple.
see
And then they boys came in and they felt like they was entitled to
You know,
the
then I
same
see.
shit. And he was like, no, man, this my claim. Basically,
Ask him.
you know,
What's his
he
name?
was like, she been claimed, y'all know it.
You ask him.
Right? She
Hey.
ain't for the streets like the rest of them.
Hey.
You know, 9 times out of 10, they all gonna run through them. And that's
Hey.
what's gonna happen on this side.
You know Ben Nasib, man?
I don't, I've heard of his name, but I don't know
You
him.
ever been to Israel before?
No, I haven't been to Israel in this lifetime, no. But yeah, but that's, yeah, but you talking about Ben Amin. But,
No, Ben Nasib.
well, I don't know him. But nevertheless, the prophecy, they went off when they did that. They weren't supposed to go back to Israel. Supposed to wait for the Lord to do it. That's why they've been having so many issues the whole time they've been over there.
Deported. A lot of them.
But the beauty is in that whole thing is that just like did y'all see Elder Inox?
I've been here
Man, because look,
14 times.
they set up.
I want to hear what they
They,
talk
and
about.
then it's rare that we see
You
a
ain't
brother.
never been there.
Hey, it's rare we see a brother
It's
talking
totally
about him.
different, bro.
Right,
That
we
don't,
just talking about
that don't mean nothing, no.
it's rare that we see a brother taller than him.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, they deported. They sent 45 of them to deport.
What is this?
Are real Israelites, but then the Lord turned around and killed 45
The
fake
real
Oh, yeah,
Israelites
fake
in
ones.
Ethiopia.
J double O.
You know that too?
All right.
Or not?
The Lord turned around and
They're
killed
not-
45 of them, the same number, man. And you know what? That's gonna go right over the
The
masses'
Ethiopian
head.
king, a lot of
They literally was
Simon
deported
went to
45 of them, and the Lord turned around and killed 45.
That's how.
And here's another part of another beautiful part of that thing, man. What the elder said, which I didn't even consider, and I was like, wow. Said that 45 that's getting deported because the Lord getting ready to do horrible things over there in that land. They at war over there, and that war is gonna, and more than likely, just like it said, give me that. The least of the flock shall draw them out. They're more than likely those skirmishes that they have are going to bring all the big guns into it. And World War III is that close. We keep telling you this society is about to go down. Man.
You know what
The
you're
dollar,
getting
the dollar, it's coming to it.
Y'all
It's
know a
coming
little
to your
bit.
front
Y'all
door.
Y'all
Outside
gotta go and see though, bro.
All right, go
You
ahead,
gotta see
brother.
it in
This is
your mind.
Jeremiah 49, verse 20. It
Uh-huh.
says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom,
Right?
and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Right, over there in Teman. So look, the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock are those Israelis, man. Those fake, and that's the crazy thing is that the whole world knows they're not the people. They know. It's no secret. The world knows, man. But the world has benefited from that lie, man. All right, they benefited from that lie, especially these fake Christians over here in America. And what they do over there with Judaism is complete opposition of Christianity. You can go right by. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
But they're in direct conflict with one another. All right. But yet they uphold it. Why? Because it's a racial thing. Because they don't want, you would just read. Matter of fact, you can go back to that now. What you hold something else? No, but go back to that what you were holding, because we already talked about the Grecian part of it.
You talking about the Palestinians?
Maccabees 3 and 48. Start at verse 46.
You talking about the Palestinians?
About the crimes that they're doing against them?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Because that's their land, man.
Actually, that's
in Joel 3.
That's actually
their
our
land.
land. Right, that's
their
our
land.
land. Right. Because they don't belong there. Those are the sons and daughters of Ishmael for the most part. So that's not really their land. That's our land. Man. The Lord gonna send us here. They just happen to have been there since the Crusades, since Muhammad put them over there. But that wasn't their land then. All right. Go ahead.
First Maccabees. All right. First Maccabees chapter 8.
You gotta go, but you gotta go, man.
46. Therefore the Israelites
gotta go.
themselves
You
together
gotta go
and
see.
came to Mass Festival
Read the books are good. You gotta go. You gotta see.
for in
We all going soon enough, brother. Trust me. Go ahead.
Yeah. You gotta go.
Festival. Festival was the place where they prayed in a time in Israel.
Right. So in past times, that was a place where the Israelites came to pray. But you remember, but go ahead.
A time in Israel.
All right, my brother.
And
All right,
they
brother.
fasted
Okay, take it easy, man.
that day.
Go to
And
Israel, though.
put on sackcloth.
We
and
will.
cast ashes upon their heads.
Right. So they put on sackcloth. All right. And they cast ashes upon their heads. This is what our people did. That was a custom. All right. We wore sackcloth with the border blue with the fringes on it. That was an order. All right. Sackcloth with the border blue and the fringes. All right. Go ahead.
And rent their clothes and laid open the book of the law,
Right.
wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
So these heathens, these Edomites, been painting the likeness of their images for a very long time. All right, way back then. All right. So the Renaissance, they had it down pat because they had this to reflect back then. They had already done it before. Okay, so when they came back into power, first thing they did, we need to put our faces up, and they start putting their faces up as if they were the Israelites. They were the God. They were the
Sit in
Lord.
the temple
They
and
the-
make themselves God.
There you go, man.
They worked before the second
Exactly.
exactly. Right? Because hey, even when you go back to all the Hollywood shows, they show you how the masses of your Negroes are controlled by the so-called white image of Cecil, man. Who is Cecil, man? Which goes back to Ptolemy's son, God, man.
And the evidence of that is how and the evidence of that today is how Jake see somebody that they don't know.
Right.
Right. But then Esau walked through the hood.
Yeah, that's the look to it.
Right. They see a dude roll through the hood they don't know. Right. It's like, damn, man, I just met a female. I just coming to meet her, man.
What gang you in?
It's like nothing, brother. I met a girl and I'm coming to visit her. Please don't shoot me.
Esau is the man that's been slaying you for years, that you know can hang you upside down, doing all types of shit to you.
Right.
Hey, sir.
Railroad you off to jail.
Right.
You know, with a rigged system that's set up for you to fail. But he can walk through your hood scot free. Got a couple $100 in his pocket, a gold watch, you know, a damn iPhone, and nobody bothers him. He just walk on through. He's okay. Right, exactly. He's making his way downtown, walking fast.
Right. Hey, it shows you the curses that we're on. It said we'll have an evil eye towards our brethren, but then when you turn to Cain, it says, "Cursed be him that slayeth Cain." 70. What was it? How many times?
He said seven times.
7 times, man. And that was to his. That was to one of his descendants. So how much more now, man? That's why you Negroes, you see the so-called white man, you put your head down, man. All right. Now some of you rile up,
And
you know,
it should be the opposite because they're the ones being shamed. Hell, you got college campuses, you got areas that they can't even go to. Meetings in their own kingdom, man. In their own universities. They're not even welcome to certain, exactly, man. Yep. They're all complaining about white shaming. First of all, you ain't fucking white.
Right.
Stop with that bullshit, man. You're the red Edomites, man. Ain't no such thing as white people. Stop with that. That lie's played the fuck out. All right? You are the Edomites, man. You gonna wear that shit.
You saw the
Right.
father of the Edomites, like the scripture say, man. That's your heritage, right?
Okay?
Listen, just like we got stripped of
We got our
they
heritage beat
stripped
out
it
of
up
us.
for them on purpose.
Right. They ran from their heritage. We got stripped of ours and they ran from theirs, man.
God.
Guess what? Your heritage is gonna get beat back into. All right? Because you already know. They scholars know, and they're well educated know. Hey, in order to teach a lie, that means you gotta know the truth. Man. So we already for you to constantly teach this lie, you know, you know the truth, man.
Oh,
Man, right. That Edomite might be a mini one.
Shit. Hey, can you get Joel 3:2 real quick? Like, the guy came up, go to Israel. Palestinians, that's their land. No, that's our land, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you know, he walking up big for no reason, man. All right, just a big goofy, man. Big for no reason, man. Bald. He telling us we need to go to Israel. He got a bald face and a mask outside. A bald face and a mask on outside, telling us what we need to do. Right, nigga, you need to stand your ass right there and grow your hair first, bro. Right, to grow some hair on your face and bring a notepad. All right, that's what you need to do. Bring a notepad and start writing down notes and taking inscriptions, man. So you can go back and study and show yourself approved, man. Because time is coming, man.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Which is roughly the Middle East, basically. The whole region. All right? Go ahead. Because what's going to be going on? Like the elder states, things in Israel, Palestine. All right? What's all that's going to lead to? Ezekiel 38th chapter, man. The Lord's going to put that on the hooks in the jar of God and Magog. So Russia's going to get into it, which they already is. They covering Syria, Turkey. All right, the lesser nations. All right, China and Russia together. So the Lord is going to bring all those nations together, and He's going to remove far from them the northern army, which is going to be Babylon's army. And then He's going to smoke the rest of them according to 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. They're going to stop fighting each other and come against the Lord.
Everybody's invited to the cookout.
Right. Go ahead. Everybody's invited. But it's you getting cooked. Go ahead. There's some more of that.
Right, like on the cartoon. When the rabbit realized he was the food.
Right. Sitting you remember he was in the pot, the cans going in there. He somebody's back.
Right.
Getting cooked the whole
Wait a
time.
minute.
Go ahead.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people, which means judge. Go ahead. And for my heritage Israel.
Harshly.
Yeah.
They're going to get judged harshly.
Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
They sold into slavery and parted the land of Israel.
Right. And it's divided,
right. Go ahead.
it's divided between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And neither are Israelites. And that was prophesied. All right? Go ahead.
And it says, and they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for
So
an army.
that's one of the most powerful chapters in the whole Bible because it tells you the whole story. And then
One chapter.
there's other scriptures that can link up, but it's telling you that, look, this land has been divided by two people that don't belong there, and the inhabitants have been sold into slavery. Through process of elimination, it's really simple, man.
Yep.
All right?
That.
So it's telling you once again, the land was divided by two nations of people that don't belong there, and the true inhabitants of that land got sold into slavery. All right, and the true inhabitants of that land got sold into slavery. Read it again, man.
That's all you need to. It's plain.
It's Joel chapter 3, verse 2. It says, I also will gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
And why? Because of what I just said. Because what he read earlier. Go ahead.
And will plead with them there for my people.
Because everybody, get that scripture in Maccabees. It said one nation. What nation?
What one nation?
10, I believe.
Whom they have scattered. So like for my people, for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Stop right there. Go ahead. You got it?
This is
He got it.
this is
First ain't going with us.
He's fast on the trump.
This is First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoil?"
Right. That's why all nations are being pleaded with. All right. Because all nations benefited from the crimes against us, man. All right. And the ones who didn't take part and kept their mouth shut, they guilty by circumstance, man. Why? Because over time they all benefited from my downfall. All right, and then they never spoke up. It's like Esau has a law. If some dudes pull up and right in front of us, a couple guys got out the car, and I'm looking at their license plate, I can read it. And they get out the car and they see some other dudes, some ops, and bam, 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 bam. And then they jump in the car and ride off, right? And then, you know, I don't say nothing, and I could be made an accessory. If they got a video that you see that I can see, and then I ain't see nothing. But you witnessed it, sir. You were there, sir. All right? So they got guilty by association. They got the RICO Act. The Lord got the RICO Act, man. All you people that was involved, man. All right?
If I may say, this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 30. It says, "Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons." So all you all stuff, the two part, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I can get a hand in this and whatnot. You guilty as well. You guilty by association.
Yeah, because you licked our wounds, all you other nations. Because you were able to set up shop in our neighborhoods, treat our people like shit, set up shop in our neighborhoods, and profit off of us, man. You know, I saw a tank top that I wanted just the other day, and I was like, man, it was an Afro Samurai tank top sitting inside the goop spot. So I was like, because normally I don't never go in stores like that and buy that sort of thing, but it was a samurai. The Afro Samurai. I was like, damn, I kind of like that, man. You know, I done got older, man, but you know, the gun still might look good. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to get that. But I go in there, man, and it's $100. I'm like, damn. You know, maybe I should wait for that to come down. Because I did have $100, but it was like, damn, $100 for a tank top. No. Yeah, I'll wait for it to get the hookup. I'll probably find it for cheap somewhere. But nevertheless, man, he's able. But guess what? Though they were selling them. All of them. That one was still up there, but all the other ones that were next to it were gone, man. So Jake and them buying that stuff, man. That was a damn Moab spot, man. You know. So they all licked our wounds, man. They all benefited from us in one way or another, man. You know, Ishmael got the gas stations. Elam got the Dunkin' Donuts and the 7-Elevens. You know, Moab and Ammon got the little sports stores and the hair places. Elam got the nail shops. But even up and down here, because there's a lot of Edomites living in High Park, but there's a lot of Jake that do all commerce in all these shops down here, man, which are mostly owned by Esau. There's a lot of Esau. Heathen. There's a lot of heathen shops down here. Basically, what I meant to say. Go ahead.
It says, "For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, it was glad of thy fall. So shall she be grieved for her own desolation."
Hey, we even got the law with us today. See, he probably watching videos, man. Right? Yeah, right.
That's a whole centurion, man.
That's a whole. I ain't never seen that, man. That's a whole centurion cheering us on to do the work, man. Come on, man. I believe that, man. Hey, even he out the truth now, but Yahshua said that once, man. That a lot of these cops gonna one day walk in and put their badges on the decks, man, and side with their people.
Hey, about a month ago, when the police came when Elder Uriah was out there, they was about to tell us to get out the corner. We start going to the scriptures. He ended up just agreeing. Got back in the car, told us to have a good night.
There it is.
Hey, that's the spirit, man.
You do nothing against the spirit for the spirit.
So remember when y'all called the cops, they could come down here and they might throw in the corner. Right.
Hey, and you know what? That's gonna be a beautiful deal when it happens too, man. All right. Right over their uniform. Just be like, fuck it. Oh shit. All praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh. You know? They're just gonna throw in their garment, man.
Hey, going off your precept, remember what the Lord said in Revelations. He said they didn't suffer their dead bodies to be covered. So you guys didn't. You seen us get sold into slavery. didn't tell us who we were. You didn't tell us our heritage. Took our nationality, beat us, and put us in slavery. Huh? So, hey, you going to captivity. Hey, so with that, so with that, hey, we pray that you brothers was edified. We're going to say all praises, honor, and glory be unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rukakodash.
double honors to the young apostles, bring those salutations to the elect. Bob the ball.